Hi guys, welcome to Software Jobs Training, and I am Tanveer. This is day 4 video for week 1, and in this week we are going to learn about some advanced text options, some tags that are going to be help you out to lay out your pages very nicely. Okay, so we are going to see that how to actually change the layout of the web page, and that will add to the overall look of our page, right? So let me just begin with alignment. Okay, so alignment, as its name says, that it is basically used to align things up. Okay, you can align texts, and you can align lists, and you can align images. Okay, so it is very simple. As you can see that we have this called align is equal to center. Okay, so you can actually center align things using this. Let me just go to the next slide and talk about this in a little detail. Okay, so basically alignment is used to center align your things, or you can actually right align them or left align them. So basically you have the three options for this attribute of alignment. Okay, but as you can see that in our console, in a code, I have this new thing coming up that says div. Okay, so div is basically nothing but a container, a blank container which acts as a packet that can enclose your code. Okay, so basically if you're working on a section, so it is recommended that you enclose your code inside a div. Okay, the best example for it will be that suppose you're working on the headers and content and the footer of the page, so it is recommended that you put your header tags in a div. Okay, then for content you can have another div, and for photo you can have another one. Okay, so basically let's just go ahead and write some code. First of all, I am going to have a h1 tag that says welcome to HTML, and after that I have a p tag right, and one more tag for the anchors, and you can just specify the href. Okay, so I'm going to leave this blank for you. That says click here. So if I hit the run code, you can see that this is the code that I have right now. To align it up, you can just use this attribute that says align is equal to center. Okay, but it can be quite painful for you to give center aligning to each and every tag that you use, so you can just put it inside a div. So as we have seen, that div is nothing but a container that has no background or height or width by default. Okay, so put it in a div. So this is like an invisible container, right? So you will see no differences over here after you put it inside a div, but this will make life a lot easier for us to. So if I want this to be right aligned, so I can just right align the entire div. Okay, so it's gonna put everything on the right hand side for all the things that have been put inside the div, right? I'm gonna hit run code, and as you can see that everything that was placed inside the div is actually right aligned now. Okay, so we are done with the alignment, and now we're going to see the quotes. Quote is quite a basic tag that is usually used to enclose the quotes written set by someone. So if you have some text that was actually set by someone, day-to-day quotes, right? So they're not actually used that much in HTML, but they're quite same as the p tag. So you can just start the block quote, and you can just end the block quote, and in the output you can see that it will put some indentation to it. It will add some additional padding to it, so that will make it look like a code, right? So not a big deal. You can just write the block code and put the text in, close the block code, and it's almost similar to the p tag. Horizontal lines are actually one of the most important things in HTML that we are going to cover right now. So horizontal lines basically are used as a separator. So if you have a lot of content and you basically want to separate them, remember last time we used BR tags to create some horizontal space, but BR tags are basically, they only create the blank spaces, right, the void. But horizontal lines can actually show up the lines, so they can actually act as a really good separators. Okay, so horizontal lines basically have no ending tags, so they are self-ending, so you can just simply write HR. And you can also define the width. So by default this is 100%, so these horizontal lines show from end to end. But with specifying the width of them, you can actually show them according to the width, according to the requirements of your width, right? So you can show up at 50%, 40%. Okay, so let me just get into the live editor and see if we can create some horizontal lines. So I've opened the live editor, and I can go to this file where we have week 1 day 3, right? So last time in this we had created an ordered list and a anchor tag. Right between both of these tags I can actually insert an HR. Okay, so this is basically a horizontal line HR, and this is self-ending tag, so I'm gonna put slash right at the end of it. No need to close it separately. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save and click on view, and as you can see that there's a separating line. You can see it right below the ordered list and right above the anchor tag. So this is really good for adding, you know, space as a separator. Okay, so you can just section your content really nicely. You can have multiple sections of your page, and HR is actually going to help you run with this. Right, so horizontal lines are really good and very easy to use, and this one is scale assessment. So you can just skip this up. Okay, and now we're gonna discuss the images. Okay, so images are actually one of the very important parts of HTML coding. So all the web pages and websites we see on the web, they are basically full of images, right? So it is impossible to have a web page without images. Practically, I'm talking about them. So you can just write in the images. Okay, so we're gonna see how to insert these images into our web page. So let me just get into the live editor. Let me create one new file, and I'm gonna call it as week 1 day 4, and the extension should be .html. Alright, so I have the blank page ready for my coding. So I'm going to start up with head and title. So title could be images week 1 day 4. Now I can just begin it with body. So basically we start with the images using img tag. So img tag is the basic image tag, right? And it is a self-closing tag, so no need to close it separately. So it belongs to the self-closing tags. And here in its attribute, the very first attribute is the src. So this is basically the source for the file that you're going to show up. So over here we need to write the URL or the name of the image that we are actually going to display on the screen. Okay, so let me just get back to the console and grab the URL for this nature image. Okay, so you can basically write down any image name over here that is actually present on the internet. So you can just copy paste that URL and put it in your SRC. In upcoming weeks we will see that how to upload our own images to the server, but right now you will have to get the URL of the image. Okay, so you can get it from Google Images, or if you have them already uploaded somewhere, you can just put in over here, put in the URL over here. Okay, and hit save and click on view. So as you can see that this will display the image on our screen. So you can apply various things to it that we have learned so far. You can just center align it, or right align it, or left align it. That is already there for by default. Okay, so we are going to learn more about these images now. So as we've seen that img tag is the basic tag and SRC is the source of it. And there is one more thing that says ALT. Okay, so ALT basically in this slide we are going to learn about the ALT. So ALT basically shows up some text on the image, and it's not directly shown on the image. Actually it will show up when the image cannot be loaded. So in case you have written a wrong name inside the source, or in case your internet is not working, so it can be used to display errors to the person. Okay, so let me just go here and write some ALT and say nature image and hit save. You can just go to the other tab and refresh. So as you can see that I've written the ALT text, but there's nothing to be displayed on the page right now, because it will only display when the image cannot be loaded. Okay, so let me just go there and I'm gonna write some wrong name over here. Okay, so I'm gonna create a typo. So there's no image over here that says nature 121. This is a wrong name, so this image cannot be loaded. And if I refresh this, so as you can see that it will say that nature image. Okay, so over here you can write your error text or something that will tell the user that okay, this image could not be loaded, but over here it was there was a nature image over here. Okay, so very simple. ALT tag is very easy. And then we have the title. Okay, so title is basically used to show some text when the user actually hovers on the image. So let's get to our live editor, and over here I'm going to write the title is equal to beautiful image. So you can just basically write any text over here, and I'm going to save. You can click on view, or you can just actually go to the tab that we have already over there. So last time it could not be loaded because I had changed the name, so I'm going to put it back to nature.jpg, and I'm going to refresh this. Okay, so our image is back on, and so whenever I'll take my mouse right on the image, it will show me a pop-up, and inside it it will show the text that I've written in the title. Okay, so title will basically show the text on the image when you hover on it, or when you put your mouse on it. Okay. Alright, so then in the next slide we are going to cover up the image sizes. So we can actually specify the height and the width of the image, and this has to be done using the width attribute and height attribute. So you can just specify the height and the width of a file in the double quotes, and this should be in pixel format. Okay, so if I want my image to be of 230 pixel wide and 180 pixels in the height, so I can just specify this using width and height and hit save. I'm gonna view this, and as you can see that my image is a lot smaller than before now. So you can basically play around with this heights and width and adjust it according to the requirements. So for larger images you can just increase the sizes. For smaller images you can just have small sizes like 100 pixels by 100 pixel. You can put width is equal to 50 and height is equal to 20 in case you're working with logos and small stuff. And if you're working with large images, you can just have it 700 pixels, 800 pixels, or it highly depends on your requirements, right? So slide number 6 is actually a skill assessment, and it is about adding an image, okay, and adding the ALT attribute, adding the title attribute, specifying the right height and width. So I'm gonna skip this assessment, and this has actually brought us to the end of the video for week 1, day 4. So thanks a lot for watching.